There's a place in the woods called Aspen Ridge, and this is where we call home. We're the Popple People. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not new, welcome back. So we live quite a ways out of town and actually just got internet here at Aspen Ridge right before the pandemic hit. And we were so thankful to have it literally just in time for remote work during the COVID pandemic. But we were very limited on our choices for internet, and we just got a Starlink system here a few weeks ago. So in this video, we're going to get that unboxed, show you just how easy it is to set up and activate Starlink, and we'll go through the entire process step by step, from opening the box, getting the app, setting up the account, all the way to actually getting online. So let's get this unboxed. Now, we ordered the standard kit because it was on sale for $299 US, which seemed like a decent deal. And we actually bought ours from Home Depot because it was free shipping and the Starlink website charged for shipping. Also, Home Depot had a 90-day return policy, which was longer than the 30 days you got from Starlink directly. So those were our main factors of consideration when we were shopping around for our Starlink. Again, we went with the standard kit, which is a bit bigger than the mini, but we were willing to compromise on size a bit in order to save money on the overall purchase price. The standard was about half the price of the mini. This standard dish came with a kickstand already attached, so no assembly was required. There appears to be no buttons, just a single hole to plug into. There's a very simplistic sheet of instructions, pretty much all pictures. This is the router. It's a 3rd generation. Again, no buttons on it, just holes to plug things into. This is the cable that goes between the dish and the router. It is 15 meters long, which is just a hair over 49 feet. This is the power supply box, which has one cable permanently attached. It's 1.5 meters long, just a bit less than 5 feet. And the AC power cable that plugs into the regular wall outlet, that's 1.5 meters, just a hair under 5 feet also. So that's it. That is everything in the box. Not many parts or pieces. Seems pretty straightforward. Let's have a closer look at these instructions here real quick. So these are pretty much just pictures. Seems fairly straightforward. We'll see. So first we've got a QR code, or if you don't have a QR reader, it lists the website that'll get you properly set up. This took me to the correct Starlink app. Now before we received the dish, like while it was being shipped, I did a quick search in the App Store, and when I just typed in Starlink, there were actually multiple apps that populated. So if you're not 100% certain which app is the official one, follow this. It'll guide you to the correct official Starlink app. So once you've got that, the next picture here is going to show you how to connect all the cables. There aren't very many, it's pretty straightforward, and this picture will guide you on exactly what goes where. If you're still not sure, just keep watching, I'll show you in just a minute here. So step 3 shows you how to position the dish, and it also guides you like how not to position the dish as well. So we live in a very forested area, and this was one of the things that made me a bit nervous and, to be honest, hesitant about buying a Starlink. Would it even work here with all the trees we have? We're in the middle of our driveway where we have the clearest views of the sky. We're going to set it up here, see if it works, or if there are too many obstructions. Now, there are several different mounting options you can get for this dish. We're planning to use this for internet when we travel, so we won't be permanently mounting this. Rather, we're just going to use the kickstand that comes with it, setting it up wherever it seems to work best. As you saw, we're in the forest here, so we're going to set it up in the middle of the driveway where we have the least obstructions, and we'll see if that works, and if we can even connect here. So let's set out all the parts and pieces and get ready to plug things in here. In the meantime, a couple of specs. Starlink says that this equipment is functional between -22 to 122 degrees Fahrenheit, and the dish is supposed to function in 60+ mile-an-hour winds. So according to the instructions, we are supposed to point the dish towards the most open patch of sky. On the long cable, there are little protective caps on the ends. Take those off first. And then one end is going to plug into the dish itself. It pushes in pretty hard. Be firm with it. And now the other end is going to go into your router. Make sure you're putting it in the right way. There's a little tab that goes in just one way, and same thing, it pushes pretty hard. Okay, next let's hook the power supply cord into the power supply box. And this one is also a pretty tight fit. And then the other cord on the power supply box plugs into the router. And that's it. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Let's get a power supply out here and see if it works. The power station we're using here is a Bluetti AC2A portable power station. It provides 300 watts of AC output. It's light and portable, coming in just under 8 pounds. It's a handy little grab and go unit, and we're going to see here if it'll be sufficient to run the Starlink. So let's get the proper app downloaded here and we'll see what happens next. Okay, so that QR code took me right into my app store. Double click to install. And that's going pretty fast. All right, let's open her up here. Starlink would like to find and connect to devices on your local network. Allow that. I'm not going to check for obstructions. Don't need to order anything, so let's start setup. Okay, I've got the standard kit. Let's confirm that. And it's prompting me again to check for obstructions. I'm going to click that we've got a clear view here. Okay, next it's going to prompt us on installing a mount. We didn't get one, so we're going to choose just that we are using the kickstand. Okay, next it is prompting us to get her plugged in. And we already did, so let's click that button. Okay, now I've got to go into my phone's settings and connect to the Starlink Wi-Fi. Oh, there it is. All right, let's connect. And the previous screen in the app did say this could take a minute. There it went. Okay, let's hop back over into the Starlink app. Okay, there it connected. Starlink paired successfully. Great success. Okay, let's hit continue here, and now we are searching for satellites and optimizing the connection. Starlink is determining which satellites will provide the best connection. Okay, we'll let it do its thing here for a minute. Calculating orientation, talking to the satellites to determine which way it's pointing. Oh, and I see it just went offline. No signal received, network issue. Getting online is taking longer than usual. Make sure Starlink has a completely clear view of the sky. We are at about as good a spot as we can get here, so we're not going to move anything. Now it says Starlink is unplugged or rebooting. I didn't unplug it, so we're just going to leave this sit. I was reading online, sometimes this happens when you're first setting it up. Now we've got Starlink connected. All right, now we're going to configure Wi-Fi, type in a network name, and create a password for it. And we'll hit submit when we're done. Okay, now we are applying settings. It says Wi-Fi is reloading to apply your new network settings. This takes about 1 minute. Okay, tap connect below to join Aspen Ridge Starlink. All right, tap connect. And Starlink wants to join Wi-Fi network Aspen Ridge Starlink. So we hit join and it says it's connecting, establishing connection to your Starlink network. Activate Starlink now. Internet access will be restricted in 56 minutes if Starlink is not activated. Let's just jump down and hit that speed test button real quick. And it's uploading some data. All right. We've got some megabits per second, mid 120s. That's excellent. Oh, even up into the 130s now. Solid. I think this will meet our needs. I don't think we would use anything that would require more than that. All right, let's back out of this and back out of the statistics. And let's tap on the network button next. So this is showing my iPhone is connected. Let's back out of that and hit obstructions. Okay, so this one says Starlink is calibrating and gathering data on obstructions. This usually takes about an hour. Okay, we are not waiting an hour here, but maybe let's hit this Align Starlink button. Okay, so this one's super straightforward. It's telling me to turn the Starlink to match the target, rotate your Starlink to match the outline. Okay, this is perfect. I'm going to have Tater do that. And it tells me Starlink is aligned. All right, it's pointed in the correct direction. We're going to leave it there. Okay, so that takes us back to our obstructions map. All right, I'm going to let that keep going. Blue is good, and honestly, I was thinking there would be a lot more red on this diagram, so I am pleasantly surprised with this considering the amount of trees that we have in the forest surrounding our home here. So we're going to just let that keep doing its thing, and we'll back out of this. All right, let's hit that Activate Starlink button. It looks like it's taken me over to their Starlink website. And I need to set up a new account. Okay, it says choose service. And it's prompting me to enter an address to see your available services. All right, so we entered our physical address. We're going to choose a roam plan here because we do want to use this when we travel, and then continue to check out. Okay, next it wants the device ID to be activated. That was on the box. Okay, we're going to skip that stuff that is talking about ordering and shipping because we've already got ours. We're going to choose the $50 for 50 gigs cheaper plan on the roam package, and then it looks like we've got to put in some information here on address. Okay, so it looks like we're all set. $50 for the 50 gigs. I'm not going to do Apple Pay, so I'm going to put in some credit card information. So I just chose the alternate method of payment. And one thing that was a little weird here was that I had to put in my information for the credit card twice. I think it was probably like a security feature or something, but in any case, be prepared for that. All right, let's place our order. And they do bill you immediately, just so you know. All right, we're creating our account here. Now we've got to set up a password. So this password is for your account, not your Wi-Fi. These are going to be two different things, two different passwords. Once you've got that in, hit that set password button, and you're all set. It takes you right back to the regular old Starlink website. Looks like I got a bunch of emails from Starlink. Let's see what we have here. Our activation confirmation email. Welcome to Starlink, download the app. General information about setting up, shopping, accessing your account, returns and cancellation. Your payment has been processed and you set your password. All right, let's hop back into the app here. Starlink activated successfully. That is awesome. We are online. Let's sign into our account to use this feature. Continue. All right, email and password and sign in. Now they do have a two-step verification, so you'll need to input the passcode for that. And it is prompting to see if you want notifications. Let's take a peek at that data usage here real quick. So it's obviously showing I haven't used anything yet. And it is showing my subscription there, so that Manage Subscription button shows I'm on the Roam 50 gigs package. And if I tap on that, that's where I have my option to pause my service. I just have to slide that across. Let's back out of here. So if you look right in the center there where it says Roam, if you toggle that button to the right of it, you'll opt in to continue using data even if you exceed your 50 allotted gigs that come with this package. And if you look below that, it'll tell you the price per gig. So like here, it would bill at $1 per gig for exceeding the 50 gigabytes. We're choosing to not opt in for that. When we hit 50, we're okay with the internet shutting off automatically so we don't get a surprise bill. All right, let's back out of that and let's take a look here at settings. All right, so it looks like we are looking at router right now. If we toggle over to Starlink, let's tap on that snow melt here. So we live in a very snowy part of the Midwest, and we really like the fact that this Starlink dish had a built-in snow melt feature. It's supposed to melt up to 1.5 inches per hour. We'll give her a go this winter and see. We're not really doing a review in this video. It's more just to show you the setup process. So subscribe and stay tuned for a more thorough review once we've had just a little more time to really use the Starlink and get a feel for regular usage and performance. So it looks like we've got 3 snow melt options. There is off, never use extra power to melt snow. Automatic, it says automatically detects snow and heats up when needed. And then preheat says it keeps it warm to better resist snow buildup. This option may increase power consumption. Definitely something to keep in mind if you are like off grid and depending on like a battery bank to run your Starlink. So let's back out of that and take a peek at the sleep schedule next. It says you can conserve power by scheduling your Starlink to sleep. Starlink won't provide internet or melt snow while sleeping. I think for now we're going to leave this off because when it's not in use, we're just going to unplug it and bring it in the house. All right, let's back out of here. Oh, looks like we got something weird happening. Unreachable. Oh, now it just went to activated and it's recalculating its orientation, determining alignment. Adjustment may be necessary. Well, let's let her sit here and spin and see what happens. Again, I've read online that this is totally normal for the first like day or so that you have this to have a few of these weird little glitches and restarts and reboots. Not panicking. We're going to just roll with it here. Okay, it looks like we're back. Starlink connected. May take a few minutes for connection to stabilize. Connection will be most stable after about 12 hours once Starlink is able to account for obstructions. And then Starlink aligned, no adjustment is necessary. All right. Well, I think this is about where we're going to end it here. If you'd like to get a hold of us with questions or comments, please email us at thepopple all one word, @gmail.com. Or you can plop a comment below. We love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, be sure to hit that like button. And if you'd like to subscribe to our channel, tap that colorful circle. That way you can be a Popple People too. We'll see you soon.